Hello Libra, and welcome to my channel Green Lion Goddess Tarot. This is your reading for March. Oh, okay, let's see. We've got a few coming out. We have the Three of Feathers, Release and Recovery, and the Queen of Feathers, Perception and Truth. So this is the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Air. This is you, Libra. And the Three of Swords, Release and Recovery. So I feel like there's a healing of the throat chakra coming in here for you, Libra. So this is an energy of finally being able to speak your truth. That's the words I've been given. And they're bringing me to the Neptune and Saturn conjunction, the Great Conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries, your opposite sign. We're moving into your opposite sign in March. We're in eclipse season. We have Mercury retrograde. And I feel like all of these energies, the combination of them all, is somehow on a deeper level given you the opportunity to start something or learn something that you haven't previously been able to do in the past for whatever reason. You're able to activate, it feels like a big life direction, and there's something liberating around this in your throat chakra, being able to speak again. So if there's some kind of old contract or vow, or it's like I never thought I was that person and now I'm allowing myself to be that person. So it's really this energy around honesty, but honesty with yourself. And the recognition this month might sound something like balance without honesty isn't real balance. And so this is a longer term thing though. Like if you look back at the last 36 years, some of you might not even be that old, but if you look back at the last cycle, which Saturn and Neptune were in, it's a 36-year cycle. This is more significant because it's at the 0 degree of the Zodiac, the creation point, the starting point, so it's going to affect longer and for more people. But if you think back at it, is there something that you just haven't been able to express, or you haven't been able to, for whatever reason, accept this truth, see this truth, speak this truth, be honest with yourself? What is it that's something that has been deeply out of balance for such a long time that you almost didn't notice it anymore? And now there's an opportunity to shift that and to change that. So this is not about preserving harmony at all costs. This is about stabilizing your position into the new identity, into what this means. What is it? The throat chakra is about hearing, listening, communicating, speaking your truth, listening to other people's truths. And it really feels like there's this huge rebalancing about to happen here. So there could have, the words I'm being given is core wound, that could be coming up with the Three of Swords. But I feel like this is an opportunity to clear that blockage in the throat chakra and to be able to move forward with clarity. Again, also what they're saying is this is about learning to trust yourself, the direction that is right for you, not what somebody else tells you, but around this little bat flies in the darkness and has to trust its own truth, its own perception of events, feel its way through and to find the clarity that way. And so there may have been this sense of, yes, you can release something that wasn't even a truth for you. Perhaps this wasn't your truth. And there's an energy of recovery that's coming in with that as well. So this feels so powerful. And I want to say, Libra, that whatever it is, like it could be your intelligence, the way you're using your intelligence. It could be the way that you're communicating, studying, learning, any of these kind of element of air things that are coming in, but something is being unblocked with it. You know, maybe it's like you're getting up and speaking or singing or something like that. In arenas, it's something where it's like in a certain arena, I felt like I couldn't speak. Maybe it's a group, or maybe it's a group around writing. It could be around writing as well. It's just something is being unblocked here for you, Libra. And it feels incredibly liberating and incredibly powerful. And it feels like it needs a little bit of time to allow this to integrate. What's shifting and changing? We have Cup 2 Moon Cancer, relationships will be shifting and changing because of this. It's very like with Mercury going retrograde, you might be feeling a little bit more inward, your mind going inward. It might be feeling a little bit more intuitive as well. And this opens the door for more understandings, greater understandings where there can be care, there can be love, there can be empathy, There can be a beautiful intuitive connection. I just get this energy of just being able to open the door, even if it's just 1%. It's opening the door a little bit more so that something's shifting and changing within that relationship space for you. Might be redefining that, what that means for you. So interestingly, we got the Two of Cups at the base. So I was just feeling that, going, something's not feeling right with this card. And it was the Two of Cups. So yeah, if something's not feeling right, I read everything into... here it comes again. I read everything into the reading, and Two of Cups crossed by the Three of Cups. There's a lot of emotions here. So it might be a lot of clarity coming in about your emotions, how you've been feeling about a certain partnership or a person in your life. And it definitely might feel like you're exploring new ways to get something off your chest, or new ways to kind of how to express yourself. There is this energy of wanting a depth, wanting something deeper here in terms of the communication. So it may be also that you just need a good person to talk to vent. You might need a little bit of a rant and a vent. That's what I'm getting here, Libra, is it just might be might need to, whether it's even writing something down, but it's like there's something you need to get off your chest, and it might be that you want to get it off your chest before you actually address the person or the issue. It might be like, I just need to go out and talk to somebody. I need to write this down. I need to kind of get this energy out a little bit first and get all the heat of it, perhaps, or the hot air of it out. So before I actually come in cool, calm, collected. So it's sort of like taking the heat out of, here's the Ace of Swords. I love this. Okay. Yes, some of you are like, if you're thinking of studying something new idea, writing that book, whatever that is, whatever the clarity that's coming through with this, you're seeing that you have new choices here coming in. So yeah, here comes Athena again, the goddess of truth and wisdom. So she's making a very strong appearance here, and this feels like Athena's on your side. She is goddess of truth, wisdom, and battle strategy. She brings clarity. She's bringing the truth to you and saying, where is something that they're bringing me to the, because you're crowned by the moon here. We have a full moon in Virgo coming through. It's an eclipse in March in the early stages of March. And this is where it's sort of like, let's shave some things off. That doesn't sound quite right, but it's like cleaning and clarifying. So things that are just like, I don't need that. I don't know why they're showing me shaving, but that's what they're like, shaving. I'm skimming like the stuff that I don't need off. So it might be you just need to skim through something and go, nope, don't need that. So that can come through with it as well. But it's very much this energy of a very strong theme of relationships, the story of love, how that's playing out in your life, and what is the truth and wisdom that's coming in around that. And also, can you do things slightly differently? There's this energy of strategy around that. And that, again, is not necessarily super emotional or romantic, but at the same time, it's like, sometimes when there's some systems in your life can work better, maybe it's financial agreements, maybe it's like even things like daily routines, rest, recuperation, looking at things like burnout. I do think that there could be something coming in around your health as well, like wanting to look at health and recalibrate health. Are there better systems that can work that could be quite practical, actually? If you kind of detach back and you're quite rational about something, is there a better way that something could work that could just smooth things out? And so does there need to be some kind of honest conversation about that? So we have, as the overall energy, the Two of Cups crossed by the Three of Cups. Now, this is where, if there's anything that's been going on, like in terms of interference from a third-party energy. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean there is a third party. It could be like a mother, a mother-in-law, a friend that's just getting a little bit close. It's encroaching into this relationship a little bit too much. Is there a third person here that has somehow the balance between, and it could even be children or pets or a friendship. How is there's this finding the balance between the relationship between one-on-one, you and this other person, and what happens when you bring another person into the mix there. So just say it's like no longer just you and your best friend having dinner. It's you and your best friend and your second best friend. And so what happens when suddenly it's three of you? Or if it's you and your partner and suddenly you're going out to dinner with your partner's cousin or something like that. And then what happens in that dynamic? How does that slightly shift when another person or energy is brought into this? And what happens when friends come in and other group energies come in? Is there something that can, if you can have this sense of clarity and honesty, is there something that can just, it doesn't feel like you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater. It just feels like some kind of slight shift. And it feels almost like it's really important for this one-on-one to be strengthened and clarified. So it's like, it's okay if other people come into this arena, into this energy, into this relationship. And to have really this sense of this is the foundations of our relationship. It doesn't have to be a love relationship. It can be with the Two of Cups. It can also just be a friendship. It's more like just the one-on-one connection. And it's like, how can I somehow strengthen this connection so it doesn't destabilize when someone else comes in? And so that's the question. It also might be this, they're showing me, I'm getting the words encroaching on boundaries, the interfering mother-in-law or the friend that's around a little bit too much, or the child that's demanding too much, more attention of one parent than the other. It's this sense of just finding these balance. And again, at the base, we have the card of balance and harmony, the Temperance card. So it's all about redefining and refining balance within your relationships. And so that things can really start to flow, it's coming back into more of an alignment. And this is Iris of the Rainbows, and she sends her messages to the gods. She passes the messages through the rainbow. So it can be those little intangible things, those intuitive moments, those little knowings between you and somebody else. And it can just feel like, things start to flow, but it's an intangible shift. It's hard to put your finger on it, but yet suddenly we're getting on a bit better or something like that. And this is where the beautiful energy of Temperance is coming in. This is the energy that's driving all of this and saying the need for moderation, harmony, balance, things to come back into some kind of alignment. And in your conscious mind, we've got this Page of Swords, and this can be just, again, letting off steam, letting off some hot air. It can be where you're seeing that you're having arguments, or that there's a little bit of, this can be gossip. It's element of air that is not particularly truthful or deep. So it's where there's things around you where, you might say something and it's like, I didn't really mean that. I just kind of said something. Maybe it was a little bit, it might have just been a little bit of hot air. But then again, there's something underneath it. So it's like just looking at the layers, understanding the different layers of truths and what really is what's really, sometimes people say things, but they mean another thing. So it's like, so it's a little bit of like, okay, understanding that it can be a bit of back and forth, but what to take seriously and what not to take seriously. Also, on another note, they're saying for this Page of Swords and Ace of Swords, this is like a student learning something new. The Ace of Swords is like a new idea, new book, new way to express yourself. So you're learning around this. In the recent past, we've got this Four of Wands, and it feels like you have already been working on establishing something. This is what is it that you really, really want? What is it that you really desire? This is Jason about to go on his journey, and he's bringing in and choosing all the people he wants to go on the next journey, which would be the next stage. And that would be that Saturn and Neptune cycle in Aries in your opposite sign. That's a 36-year longer cycle. It's like perhaps you've been consolidating or thinking, what do I really want from this? Or who do I want by my side? Who's going to be the best people around me? And perhaps you've been thinking a lot about, who you've been spending a lot of time with. In the near future, here comes the Aries energy. Yes, we are moving into Aries season. Here is the King of Wands. You can see the rams on the throne, the ram in the background. This particular king is pretty impetuous, youthful, perhaps a little bit immature sometimes with this King of Wands, but he's learning to mature into taking the right action. So it's there's some kind of maturation within a relationship where it's like, instead of doing things and there's a little bit of hot air. It might be instinctual. It's doing something with a bit more awareness and intention and maturity. So the way that's part of what's happening here with this relationship, something is that it's really looking at the actions that are taken and the energy behind that. So it's more intentional, not impetuous. So it is an interesting energy. The King of Wands is also, in terms of this thing starting for you that feels like a bigger thing, and it could be this bigger new life direction that's coming in for you. It could be, okay, let's go time, let's start. It could start feeling exciting for you. You're turning up as the Five of Pentacles. So with this card, don't be surprised if things shift and change when it comes to what really resonates for you and what doesn't. It might just be something suddenly falls away and you're like, oh, okay, that just is not feeling right anymore. If things like work opportunities or financial opportunities shift and change, that's the eclipses bringing you into alignment. And it may just be that you're chasing new directions here and seeking out new directions. There is a challenge here to grow and get out of a bit of a comfort zone here, Libra. But I just got immediately with this Five of Pentacles, there could be shifting sands when it comes to things like jobs, careers, living situations, and financial situations. And that's part of this. It feels like it's part of the transition of, okay, it's part of the rearrangement that's going on here. So energy surrounding you is this King of Cups. This is very nice. There could be someone around you that is either really creative, very loving, very emotionally stable. And this person could be someone that helps you start something new and helps you start something new that feels like it's the very beginning of it, but it hasn't quite matured into what it needs to be yet. But at the same time, I feel like your cheeks are flushed, I want to say. So there's someone very beautifully supportive around you with this King of Cups energy. And this person may have been there and done that, or like as an emotional support, there's someone very calm in your life, and that or somebody that could guide you intuitively as well. Hopes and fears is the Hanged Man. And this is, could be both a hope and a fear. The Hanged Man is when nothing happens and it feels like time goes slow, it's stagnant energy, time is still, and it's like when things are boring, it's the same old thing over and over again. And it is also like maybe you need a little bit of time. So this is where you're gifted time, and it can feel stagnant or it can feel enlightening. And it's like, do I want time or not? Maybe you just want to start. And it's like, I don't want that stagnancy. So again, that's a hope and a fear. And it's sort of like, again, this thing of how are you managing your time? How are you stepping into things and taking action? And we have, as the outcome, I love this for you, the Ace of Swords, the Lovers, and the Seven of Pentacles. My goodness. So in comes Athena. She's almost like your patron saint, even though she's not a saint, but they're just the words I've given. So she's your little goddess that you're working with. And she's a good goddess to have around as she holds that sword of truth. She's very good with the element of air. She defends injustice, and she defends fairness and impartiality. But here she is. You've got this new beginning coming in with the Ace of Swords, the element of air, seeing the potential of that. But it potentially is about, the Lovers is about making a choice here. There's a big choice coming in. And in the Seven of Pentacles, we're seeing Daedalus with a choice, because he normally is looked after by the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is his patron, kind of this energy of patronage, who's around supporting you or what's around supporting you, especially financially. That could be something that's coming in. So is there something really stable? He's been there, the king, he's the master builder for the king, making all the buildings for the king. The king gives him a regular wage, and it's all very comfortable and stable, and it's all very, very wonderful. But yet there's this energy of, do you want to choose to grow? Because in comes the Taurus queen. You can see the bull around her feet, and says, come work for me. I have a job for you. And this job is, I can't guarantee it's going to bring the stability that the king has been bringing you, but I can guarantee that you're not going to be making the same buildings. You're going to be doing something a bit more interesting and exciting. It's going to be very different. That could even be much better, but it's going to bring growth. And so he's in this, you can see he's got his hand on his beard thinking, like, what am I going to choose here? So do I choose stability or do I choose growth? And that is the clarity around the choice that's coming in around that. And because it's coming in terms of a pentacle, I do think it's got a lot to do with career or work or health even, or living situation, but definitely something on the material realm. So that seems to be really important. Interestingly, we see Athena as one of the choice here. She is going, make the right choice, Libra. I'm going to help you make that right choice here. So it does feel like you've got this kind of big decision as to how to move into this energy and whether you're choosing the new opportunities around you and what that's going to look like for you. And we have as an overall energy, here's Athena again. And she is putting an end to the curse of Orestes and saying no to the snakehead ladies, no, end, that's the end. There's an ending here. So very clear with eclipse energy, it does bring accelerated birth, death, rebirth cycles. Here's the 10 of swords, and then you're moving into the ace. There's a very clear ending here. That's over. 10 of swords, finished, done, graduated, end of story, closure. No, not doing that anymore. And how you're feeling about that's going to be different for all of you, but you're definitely like, there's this sense of that door's firmly shut and you're stepping into this new door. So this might be part of the rearranging of what's here with that 5 of Pentacles for you. And it's about almost trusting that the new things that are coming in for you with an eclipse are going to simplify your life, make it better, and be more aligned to you. So there might be a little transition moment around this, but very exciting new beginning in the element of air that you're seeing, perceiving, believing to be true even. So let's pull an affirmation card for you. I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. Each moment of the day is special to me as I follow my higher instincts and listen to my heart. Now, that's actually something interesting. I am at peace with my world and affairs. It's something I didn't mention here, but in the choosing, this is Paris choosing between these 3 goddesses. Who's he going to give the golden apple to, and who is the most beautiful? And he knows that the choice is a difficult choice. This is like a classic card. Even though this is a Gemini card, this card's a little bit classic Libra. He knows that whichever goddess he's going to choose is going to upset one of the others. So it's like understanding that. But ultimately he says, okay, I can't please everybody, so I'm just going to choose what feels right for my heart. And so that's part of the choice that's coming in here. It's very much like we've got a very clear head. We've got choosing from the heart and making a difficult decision here. And this decision is something that could have a really big impact on your life, and it could actually bring some amazing opportunities, Libra. So, but it's a sense that you've got to think further down the field, like further ahead. Is this, what would the impact of the choice I make today, how would that impact me in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? So it's almost like you're investing in a future that there are no guarantees for at this moment. So let's see, let's pull a charm for you. We have, but you could build and grow that. They're showing me that you could simplify something and build and grow. And we have the beautiful butterfly, and this is very childlike, this butterfly. It's saying something is ready to transform in your life, but the journey to understanding what that is to listen to your inner child. This might be something that inner child's saying, hey, we're ready to do this now. So listen to that with the beautiful butterfly. There's joy around that as well. So follow the play, follow the joy, follow your heart. That will help you make this decision that's coming in here, this choice that's coming in. How do you move into this expanded energy that could have a longer term impact into your life? So that's your reading, Libra. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to move through this big 36-year cycle of Saturn and Neptune in your opposite sign, Aries, then I am running a workshop on March the 12th. If you'd like to move through it and feel more anchored in yourself as it shifts, or move through it with more consciousness. Everyone who joins is also going to be receiving a personal 10-minute tarot and chart reading focused on how this is shaping up for you. And so the details for that will be below. And please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments, Libra, and take care.